It's good business. It's good business because when we do talk politics, we bring our voices together in unison, even though we might share different, perspective views on topical issues. But then, of course, the idea that is central to the discourse will be the fact that we want Nigeria to move forward. We want to see the peace of Nigeria. We want to see a Nigeria that is accommodating, that has hospitality, not just for the foreign direct investors or international community, but for our children and our children's children, especially starting with ourselves, because as they say, popular is and truth in its factual sense, change begins with you, with me, with you and I, right? So we make that change right here and on here, right? Okay, so today being a Thursday, being the 28th day in the month of August of 2025, we are looking at one of the concerns that took Mr. President, our dear President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, outside the shores of Nigeria. I mean, I think he made a stop off at in Brazil, and of course, while he was there, it does seem as though there was some signing of deals, signing of memorandum of understanding, if you like to put it that way. Yes, where Nigeria, Brazil, we are committing to space exploration. All right. Yes, the federal government has emphasized that space technology and exploration are essential for national growth and security, with the potential to tackle pressing global challenges. I mean, Dr. Felix Ale, Director of Media and Corporate Communications at the National Space Research and Development Agency, that's talking about NASDRA, said, as at Wednesday, that Nigeria and Brazil signed a memorandum of understanding on space cooperation. So this agreement, witnessed by the Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, was signed by Nigeria's Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chief Uche Naji, and Brazil's Science Minister, Mrs. Luciana Santos. But then, while Naji was speaking at the signing, he stressed that space technology is no longer a luxury, but a necessity for national prosperity as well as national security. Now, he added that both government leaders and industry experts highlighted, their strategic importance in tackling global issues such as climate change, such as food insecurity, disaster management, digital transformation. I mean, put all of that together, that is what it is. So the partnership actually involves cooperation in space, science, and technology, including joint satellite missions for agriculture, climate monitoring, and national security. What are the key vehicles, key areas of cooperation now? One of such would be space vehicle engineering, which has to do with collaboration on designing and building space vehicles, including satellites and rockets. Capacity building, of course, comes from the place of training and capacity building programs that will enhance Nigeria's space technology capabilities, and sharing of, technology and expertise between Nigeria and Brazil. And this will promote innovation, development. I mean, artificial intelligence applications. This is yet another gain that we are looking to tap from this cooperation with Brazil. Deployment of AI applications for forest conservation, Earth observation systems, disaster management, and of course, finally, one of the last strengths of this cooperation has to do with digital transformation, where cooperation in digital transformation, including data analytics and management, is supposed to be a done deal. But then it also has benefits. Now, what are the benefits? The benefit is the fact that it will bring about economic growth where this partnership is expected to drive economic growth by creating new opportunities, right, for researchers, for entrepreneurs, investors, and youth in both countries. It will improve security. Space technology will enhance national security by providing real-time surveillance and communication capabilities. It will also foster global collaboration where in this partnership there will be some sort of facilitating of knowledge sharing, technology transfer, diplomatic relations between Nigeria and Brazil. But is it cost effective? Oh yes, it will be cost effective. But unfortunately, the exact cost implication of this partnership is not publicly disclosed. However, it is likely that both countries will share the cost of joint projects and initiatives, with Brazil potentially providing financial and technical assistance to Nigeria. Well, this development, though, has also sparked debate among Nigerians, with some of our brothers and sisters are questioning the prioritization of space technology when existing security challenges, such as the use of drones and combating insecurity, remains unsolved. Other innovations that are there to ensure that we got food security are still not utilized adequately, or, if you like, optimally, such that we can feel that food security from our purchasing power. In other words, from the monies that we have, value for the monies that we have to feed. But then let me also take you on this journey. This partnership, though, is expected to be implemented through a combination of government agencies, private sector companies, research institutions in both countries. So the National Space Research and Development Agency, NASRDA, in Nigeria, and the Brazilian Space Agency, AEB, they are likely to play key roles in implementing the partnership. But let me cast your mind back just a little bit. While some Nigerians are saying this is a misplaced priority, if you also look keenly, you will understand that there is a partnership. So it's not just a Nigeria thingy, it's a Nigeria-Brazil, thingy, and that this partnership might indeed, lead us to the next phase of what technology advancements should be. And would it give us the gains? Well, it should give us the gains if well managed. But then again, recall that in 2007, Nigeria launched its communication satellite, NIGCOMSAT. Do you remember NIGCOMSAT 1? Oh yeah. Which unfortunately failed in orbit, and it raised concerns about the country's ability to manage and maintain complex space technology. So this recent memorandum of understanding, MOU, signed between Nigeria and Brazil is aiming to enhance cooperation in space and technology to give us potential benefits, including improved security, economic growth, and global collaboration. So this act includes joint satellite missions on agriculture, climate monitoring, national security, as well as cooperation in space vehicle engineering and technology transfer. That's like a summary, to the entire discourse. But then, Nigeria has had a history of investing in space technology. I mean, we launched the NIGCOMSAT One in 2007. I remember this one very vividly now. However, that satellite failed in orbit. And then it makes me always tinker a little bit. Why is it that we are always wanting to be first to do things that we're not able to sustain? We always want to be first to be at places or, where we will not maintain attendance. We'll always come late in the end. We'll be first to attend. Yeah? Then we'll come late subsequently. And then you will not even find us in the list anymore of attendees. Are you catching the drift? Let me give you a bit of a detail. But just before we do so, I'll introduce my guest, who's in the person of Mr. Benedict Olaleko Agunloye. He's an information professional, and he's going to be joining us in a short bit via phone call. So while we are connecting with him, right, NIGECOMSAT 1, Nigeria's first communication satellite, was launched on May 13, 2007, aboard a Chinese Long March 3B carrier rocket from the Xichang Satellite Launch Center in China. That satellite was built at a cost of approximately $450 million then, 2007. And we had an expected service life of 15 years. Okay, 15 years. However, this satellite, NIGECOMSAT 1, failed in orbit after running out of power due to an anomaly in its solar array on November 11 of 2008. How many months now? 18 months after it was launched. Now, it was supposed to spend 15 years, last 15 years. But NIGECOMSAT, in 2007, it was put together, $450 million spent. But NIGECOMSAT, for one reason or the other, of course, will be told technical issues. I'm just giving you summaries. It failed. So the total cost was approximately $450 million. That's like about $500 million. After the satellite failure, Nigeria obtained a $500 million Chinese loan to launch NIGECOMSAT 1R, a replacement satellite. Additionally, the Nigerian government paid approximately $500,000 as insurance premium for the satellite project in 2014. Oh, how much are we spending so far? But after the failure of NIGECOMSAT 1, Nigeria signed a further contract with CGWIC for the in-orbit delivery of the NIGECOMSAT 1R satellites. The new satellite was launched on December 19 of 2011, and it uses the DFH-4 satellite platform with improvements over the previous satellites. But what happened? You're asking me. So what happened? So when these kinds of monies have been expended, it's almost, just when you think about this, imagine the refinery issue that we have already. Pumping money into something that is not just working. We keep pumping it, and we keep having hopes that it will work. Oh, it will work. Don't worry. Just give us a little time. Give us patience. Let's renovate. Let's rehabilitate. Let's repaint. Let's remodern. Just get that picture. So, after the failure, was there no investigations to find out why NIGECOMSAT 1 failed and 1R is aboard? And all of these money spent, and yet, where are we with these things? Okay, so the House of Representatives Committee on Insurance Actuarial Matters investigated the failure of NIGECOMSAT 1 and the insurance premium paid for the satellite project. So the committee found irregularities in the appointment of insurance brokers and financial infractions in the multi-million-dollar satellite contract. Now, why am I taking this pain, to bring something that happened, similar in 2007? I'm doing this because you need to know. You have the right to know. That's number one. I'm doing this because Nigeria is our country. Of course, secondly, I'm also putting this out so that you and I can also give the government a perspective view, leave their toes tiptoeing, or have them stand on their toes, not tiptoe, because when you tiptoe, it's more like you're a thief, right? How you have something at the back of your mind. But stand on your feet, knowing that we have made a mistake before. We have pumped monies in there. We shouldn't make a mistake again. As beautiful as what this MOU may stand for, some Nigerians say it is a lack of foresight. That we have lost our priority. But then it still has potentials. If everything goes according to plan and it has been put on paper, if it is actualized in its actualism, these things come to bear as it is in paper. Why not? If not, we will indeed have a Nigerian society with a robust youth of intellectual technologists who have a sound mind in using technology, exploring space, controlling climate, helping Nigeria and repositioning us in either combating insecurity, bringing about food prosperity, or the general well-being of the country. Sir Benedict, welcome aboard to the discourse.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Sir Benedict, what do you make of all of these conversation that is put out there? Mr. President has signed an MOU with the Brazilian president, or Brazil rather. Nigeria has got into a deal with Brazil, and the aim, is to collaborate on space technology and exploration. This partnership by Nigeria's Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Chief Uche Naji, and Brazil Science Minister Mrs. Luciana Santos, is aimed to drive inclusive growth, prosperity under President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. All right, so the pact is also including joint satellite missions on agriculture, climate monitoring, national security, as well as cooperation in space vehicle engineering and technology transfer. Keeping in mind that there was a NIGCOMSAT in 2007 that just failed in orbit 18 months after it was launched.
Yes. If we come from the satellite angle,
yes,
I think that at the inception of NASDA, that's a Nigerian Space Research and Development Agency, I would have seen it to have been more powered by ambition and political patronage than the desire of a vision to put the nation where the nation will be. And that, of course, led to us possibly having, when you're talking about space research, and then we have experts at the time who are competent and global repute in space research on ground. But we prefer an entomologist right? We prefer an entomologist to lead the first set of events. And then we went in thereafter to do a standard recruitment, which I think the Surrey Satellite Center, some Russians, and some guys from America participated in the process of recruitment. But I'm sure by the time they left, that was when we knew we should constitute a space board. That's when a lot of influences came in. And so rather than get people who had vision and passion for the nation on board, we got people who have connections in place. And so we keep training people from that 2002, and they keep returning and their ESTA code, buy the car, and leave. So you expect that in a system that cannot retain, where the turnover is very high, it is difficult to sustain the project because of constant change of hands. I want to believe that if today we sit down and do a research and check from 2001 till now, how many people have been recruited and trained abroad by NASDA, and how many of them are still in the system or are within the country, you will be shocked at what the results will reflect. However, if we get it right at this stage, it is not late. The best time to start a good thing is now. So if we get it right with the agreement, if we get it right with our own satellite in space for both agri and climate monitoring, it will even help both communication and security. So it's an area where we need to invest. It's an area where we need rapid and urgent development. And I can tell you that space science is an environment where we also already have a lot of Nigerians. So we only need to leverage on their knowledge and their research to ensure that their capacity are utilized for the nation.
Right.
So for me, anything therefore done in the direction of space research and development is a good way forward, because it will yield results.
Good way forward, it will yield results, but that's even the fear that most Nigerians have, that if this is not managed properly, space technology may not yield the desired result, right? And Nigerians are expecting the government to prioritize sustainability and space technology initiatives. So do you think that Nigeria can maintain and benefit from space technology in the long run, as given the situation that there are high hopes that the space technology will provide practical solutions to pressing issues like insecurity, climate change, food insecurity?
Yes, I believe strongly that the technology, if adopted and if followed through, it's needed by the nation and it's a viable option. But it only calls that all hands must be on deck to ensure that proper things are done, that proper scrutiny are put in place, monitoring and evaluation are there. The space research shouldn't just be to make young guys millionaires. It should be to promote the common interest of the nation and to achieve the purpose for which it is there.
But you
so
know that
whether we like it or not, it is something that we need. But how do we ensure that the right people are engaged in the process? I think that should be the concern.
Great.
And that should be what everybody needs to focus upon.
Especially
that all time the right people are engaged in the process.
And that's right, especially in the face of corruption, where we know that corruption can actually undermine the effectiveness of space technology, initiatives, and Nigerians Always. It has always been at our behest. The expectation of transparency, accountability in space technology funding. I mean, if you, just as I mentioned earlier, NIGCOMSAT failed in orbit 18 months after it was launched into space. And that time it was a big deal. And that was in 2007. And it was around 450 billion naira. $1 billion at the time. That's what we used to put it together at the time, 2007. And then there was a relaunch for another one and all of that. And still, where are we? Now, this is not being pessimistic, but will funds allocated for space technology be mismanaged or used for personal gain again? Do you have high hopes in this particular partnership between Nigeria and Brazil?
You see, like I stated, it is the job of everyone at this stage to ensure that there is proper monitoring so that as they are going in the process, if things are going wrong, there should be shout, not when it has ended. Like I said, build up to the 2007. If we are to trace it, you will notice, like I said, from the interview in 2000, 2001, up until that 2007, the process of recruitment were flawed with people imposing those that are connected to the powers that be as against those who are interested in space research and development. So it's not the place where you go because you want to make money. It should be a place that you go because you have value to add to the system and you are interested in the development of the system.
Do you share the concern that there's a misplaced priority? Because some Nigerians are saying, we have not even finished manning the drones, to take care of insecurity. We're already going into space, to explore space, to use the space exploration to tackle insecurity in the country, to allow for food availability, in the country, to allow for other innovations and all. Are we not probably dipping our hands too far when the answer is right here?
Not at all. Space research and development is not a misplaced priority. It is only because we have implemented it wrongly. When we started in the early 2000s, like I said, with the agreement with Sorry Satellite Center in the UK, that's in Guildford, with the Russian in place, with the Americans, the partnership was good and the vision was right. But they gave it to people of ambition, not people who connect with the vision. So because the vision did not resonate, in my opinion, with the first DG, right, it became more of a political entity. That's the way I come to see NASA. It became more of a political entity where cronyism becomes so loud.
All right.
And so you have a high level. You cannot see, it's a specialized area of research. So high level of labor turnover is not good enough. If you say the satellite got missing in 2007, has there been any deep investigation to show exactly what went wrong and a recommendation for it never to be repeated? I'm not sure I've seen any such report anywhere, but definitely those are things that we need to go over. But I can tell anybody, investment in space research is not a misplaced priority.
Right, but I can tell
we should ensure, we should ensure that the corruption in it, the lack of vision, right? People who have passion and vision for space research should be those running it, not just anybody who is connected with the powers that be.
Okay. Well, just before we go pay some bills, the House of Representatives Committee on Insurance and Actuarial Matters at the time investigated the failure of NIGCOMSAT-1 and the insurance premium paid for the satellite project. the committee found irregularities in the appointment of insurance brokers and financial infractions in the multi-million-dollar satellite contract at the time. And that was where it ended. But we'll come back after this break, and we will get into your voice, your calls, and of course the way forward. Don't go away.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Oh, what did they happen now? No bonus for all my line.
No panic, as MTN don't carry better gist come. Every 6 minutes you talk, MTN go dash you 3 extra minutes. Fiam to enter MTN better gist. Dial *123 *2 *1 hash or text BG to 312. T and C's apply.
This is Nigeria, where every new day brings a fresh chance to dream bigger, push harder, and live confidently. But true confidence is more than hope. It's knowing that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, you're protected, empowered, and ready for the journey ahead. At Sanlam Alliance, we believe confidence isn't just for a few, it's the right of everyone. That's why we have come together, uniting the strength of a Pan-African giant and a global leader to give you the financial protection and solutions you need to succeed. Because when we come together, we protect more, we achieve more, and we all rise together. Sanlam and Alliance is now Sanlam Alliance. Sanlam Alliance. Live with confidence.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAS, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAS and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
And we're still looking into the space technology, a leap forward for Nigeria's security and prosperity. Is it? Well, according to our guest who is joining via phone call now, Sir Benedict Olalekan Agunloye, says it's a step in the right direction though, but then we have to be sure that if managed properly, we will indeed get the gains from it, right? But if we do not, then we will only be making a repeat of, what we did in the past that was all messy. But then what we did in the past that was messy, investigations were carried out to seeing where we went wrong with our satellite that was launched. But then, even though we discovered where the irregularities were and all of that, nobody actually heard any verdict that's been made, persons arrested, people held accountable, coming to answer for one reason or the other, and that's how that conversation ended. But you want to add your voice, want to ask your questions, or there is an intel you also want to add to the discourse this morning, you might as well look into the number 0907 353 0044. That is 0907 353 0044. And do you also see this as the new vista, the championing key that will indeed allow for us to find preeminence and presence when it comes to winning the fight or the war against terrorism, which has become an insecurity, in fact, if not the highest insecurity that we face in Nigeria today, and of course handling and tackling the issues that border around food insecurity, as this is what this partnership is supposedly looking into tackling. I see a personal story from this Nigerian who says, I am a Nigerian. I'm excited about the potential benefits of space technology for our country's growth and security. However, I am also concerned about the prioritization of this initiative when existing security challenges remain unsolved. I recall a recent incident where drones were used to combat insecurity in a particular region, but the effort was hindered by technical issues. This experience has made me skeptical about the effectiveness of new technologies in addressing our security challenges. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Sultan Kamal Abdulaziz.
Right,
I'm calling from Abuja.
Awesome. Get into it, Sultan. Welcome aboard. Talk to us.
Thank you so much. So I wanted to add my 2 cents in quick succession.
Yeah.
I would like to start by saying space technology is not a misplaced priority.
Okay.
In fact, you cannot develop anything you do not have information about. For a lot of sectors that have experienced downsides, the agri sector, the security sector, just to name a few, the insights from this technology addresses the issues that we have at hand. For instance, agriculture. For quite some time now, we've just been planting and hoping that our crops grow. However, there are soil compositions that are best for certain plants, and insights from space technology can help us know the soil composition and what is best. There are other places we do not harness, like natural resource management, mineral exploration right on Earth. A lot of these artisans, a lot of miners you find around just this without really having precise knowledge as to what they are getting and where they are getting it from. But space technology actually provides you with insights that will aid precision and also save cost. A lot of times we just go into the field without having real insights on things. But inference with little information here and there, we can obviously bring Nigeria back to its prosperous self. But we need to be patient. We need to also understand this thing quite well, and do not allow probably our ill will, our basically concern from the past affect our future. This is a futuristic investment, if you ask me.
Right.
While it begins to address our immediate problems, the future is even better when we have such capabilities. And space technology, I would repeat, is not a misplaced priority.
Right. Thank you, Kamal, for that one. Appreciate your thoughts on this one. It says space technology is not, a misplaced priority. So if you thought it was misguided, well, Mr. President, in his wisdom, is indeed well informed when it comes to that. And that partnership with Brazil, Nigerians expecting so much from it. But just before we get with you, Sir Benedict, let's go hear from Samuel all the way from Kuje. He says, greetings to you, Obongudwang Daniel and the guest. Greetings to you too, my brother. It says, the problem with Nigeria is that we politicize, tribalize, and sometimes bring religious sentiment into everything in this country. And the grandfather of them all is corruption and nepotism. We have talented and gifted Nigerians all over the world who have the technical know-how, but the powers that be will not bring them to handle these important sectors because of where they are coming from or their political affiliation and religion. Until we do away with this kind of mentality, I assure you Nigeria will never make any headway. I rest my case, he says. May God bless the day. All right, appreciate that one from you, Samuel. And then we'll take this call and get back with you. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning
my name is GB.
GB, welcome. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Blackcamp.
Talk to us, GB. Go ahead.
I'm trying to, perhaps the the real facts or content of your discussion.
All right.
We're talking about space technology, and the rest of it.
Yes. Well, Jimmy, basically,
yes?
basically, it does seem as though Nigeria is partnering with Brazil, right, on space technology and exploration, right? And it is aimed to drive inclusive growth and prosperity under President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. So this pact is supposed to help us have a joint satellite mission on agriculture, climate monitoring, national security, as well as cooperation in space vehicle engineering and technology transfer. That's the highlight of it. But the discourse is also saying that we have had something like this in 2007, and look at where we are. Remember NIGCOMSAT? Where is NIGCOMSAT now? And billions of dollars pumped into NIGCOMSAT 1, pumped into NIGCOMSAT R, and all of that, it got failed in orbit 18 months after it was launched. So we are looking to see that, hey, hope we are not making another mistake. As much as this may have some of its gains, right? I hope it's not also a misplacement of priority. And the guest is saying, oh no, this is perfect. This is a great idea, is the way forward. What is your thoughts? In 1 minute, if you can.
Yes, thank you very much for the brief. That it failed or did not get the desired result before doesn't mean they cannot get it now. Because the factors that affected it before are number one, it's not the same government. This was done during the Obasanjo time, and we don't know how it failed or what really happened. Because one thing is for you to start a project, the funding, the necessary manage the expertise to operate it and to make it work may not be there.
Right.
But this time around, we need it more than because that time there was no bandit, there was no terrorism. So the present challenge requires that you have a space technology, a space satellite that can give us some data information. Like all these bandits roaming about all over the places. With your space satellite, you can really get and take real-time picture, video, or movement. At least, the technology we have now can take any object that is more than 1 meter, can be visible, can be traced, can also that will help in intelligence gathering.
Right.
In the area of banditry and the terrorists that are very mobile. With your technology, you can trace their route and know from there you get intelligence of what next you will do, and this will help the Air Force and the rest of it, and the rest of them. Right. Then in the area of agriculture also, I mean, getting to know satellite information will give you about the weather, about the soil, and every other thing. So to me, it's a good step in the right direction. If adequate supervision is given to it and not funding, and you get the right people to do it, we should not bring policies into it. It should be merit-based. Those who will be in charge, those who will carry out the some very based, and funding should be given to it. As in a partnership with Brazil have been to succeed in using it. I believe also following their footsteps and with their partnering with them, right. I believe the government also can do a lot in the area of using it for security, agriculture, and other areas. I mean, to really create jobs and boost the economy and fight insecurity as for banditry and also food insecurity. To me, I think it's a good step in the right direction. Right, and I demand at the end of the year, I mean, I've not seen it fail in anything he has put his hand into. When he was governor of Lagos State, he was able to pursue the ocean and make the ocean, I mean, a city. We call it today Eco-Atlantic. Go and sit in Lagos. You know, these are the waves that are destroying the Victoria land before, almost submerging Kuramo and all those Victoria land, NTA side, all those things before. They are almost submerged.
All right,
the then government was spending money every year to transfer. They said, look, this is my land. I'm the state. I'm the governor of the state. And he was able to chase the ocean away, move it away. Now that place now is now what competing with some world city in the world. Right, they call it Eco-Atlantic City.
Yeah,
So I believe that with this one will not fail. I believe that he has all the information that it takes to make it to succeed. Thank you very much.
Appreciate GB. GB says he believes this is, a step in the right direction. Well, let me get with you, Sir Benedict, if you can. You heard, what family members are saying. What will be your final thoughts, conclusion, if you can summarize?
My final thought, like everybody has corroborated, is space technology is desirable, is right, and it's not a misplaced priority.
Okay.
Number two, we need to get the people that will be involved now going forward right. We need to get our processes right so that the technology can be right. If the people and the process are wrong, the technology cannot be right. Then, of course, we also need to look at when you said, okay, House Committee was looking at insurance process. Should they be doing that after that it has failed? Where were they with their oversight function when the contracts were awarded? Where were they with their oversight function when the insurance was construed? I think that they would have seen the budget one way or the other. Did they raise any question at the time? Or perhaps we should now look for the House members who were supposed to have done that in 2004 to 2003 to 2007, who failed to do it, and possibly put them behind bars to explain why they failed the nation in such an important assignment. There should be consequences for failure. But going forward, we need to put our process in place to ensure that we do not fail. So you don't put an entomologist where you need a space scientist. You don't put the wrong people in charge. You don't recruit people for a futuristic project based on their personal affiliation and relationship with you to give them job to make money. It should be for the purpose of bringing them in to achieve the overall goal and objective for which the organization was set up. Right. So we need to get our people right. We need to get our processes right. Then the technology can be right.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate Sir Benedict. I mean, straight conversation right there, and you put a nail to it in the end. Looking forward to more conversation with you in the coming days. Right, and that is it. Well, Nigeria Space Technology Initiatives has the potential to drive economic growth, improve security, enhance global collaboration. However, effective management, sustainability, transparency, critical, very, very critical to ensuring that these initiatives yield long-term benefits. Now, this is something that you want to watch out for. This partnership between Nigeria and Brazil. We will keep talking about this one so that it doesn't go down the drain just like the other one had gone. And of course, ensure that constantly accountability and transparency will be the watchword in the entire process. Right? Thank you, Far Too Kind. My name is Utuwak Daniel.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hello. Oh, what did happen now? Bonus for all my lines.
No panic. As MTN don't carry better digital. Every 6 minutes you talk, MTN go dash you 3 extra minutes.